Hello and welcome to News Desk. We are reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. I am Imefonokun. The Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammadu Sa'ad Abubakar III, has made a crucial plea to the Bola Tinubu-led government and 36 state governors, calling on them to listen to the cries of Nigerians with compassion rather than responding with harshness amid the current economic hardship occasioned by the Tinubu-led government policies. The Sultan urged leaders to treat the people like their children. Speaking at a book launch in Abuja on Wednesday, the Sultan also called on the leaders to make justice a priority rather than entrenching injustice. News Desk report that the Sultan's remark came on the heels of growing standard of living in the country, with many Nigerians decrying current inflation of basic needs occasioned by subsidy removal, floating of naira, among other policies. In another development, the federal government has imposed a 7-year temporary prohibition on the establishment of new federal universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education, citing the proliferation of underutilized institutions, overstretched resources, and a drop in academic quality. The decision was approved at Wednesday's Federal Executive Council meeting, presided over by President Bola Tinubu at the Presidential Villa, Abuja, following a presentation by the Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa.
Briefing the press after the meeting, Alausa said the challenges in Nigeria's tertiary education system was no longer access but inefficient duplication, poor infrastructure, inadequate staffing, and dwindling enrollment in many existing institutions. The minister noted that 199 universities received fewer than 100 applications through the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board last year, with 34 recording 0 applications. Alausa warned that unchecked proliferation of poorly subscribed institutions risks producing ill-prepared graduates, eroding the value of Nigerian degree internationally, and worsening unemployment. He explained that the temporary proliferation would enable the government to channel resources into upgrading facilities, hiring qualified staff, and expanding the carrying capacity of existing institutions.
But let me give you a specific example of one university in one of the regions of the country. They had less than 800 students, and they have staff strength of 1,200 staffs for 800 students. And this is the commonality in our federal institutions. Several federal universities, federal universities today, have less than 2,000 students. So it's just a waste of government resources.
The minister confirmed that FEC, however, approved 9 new universities at the meeting. He, however, noted that the approved universities were private institutions whose applications had been pending for up to 6 years and had undergone full evaluation by the National Universities Commission. He stressed that the temporal prohibition also extends to new private polytechnics and colleges of education to prevent further under-enrollment. Alausa commended Tinubu for supporting the reform, describing it as a reset button for Nigeria's tertiary education. Abiola Alafe reporting for News.
Following Tuesday's Kefi jailbreak, Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Sule has called on the people of the state not to harbor any of the inmates who escaped from the medium security custodial center in Kefi. The governor said this during his visit to the custodial center in Kefi, Nasarawa State. The report.
Nasarawa State Comptroller of the Nigerian Correctional Service, Charles Wayagurun, said 5 personnel sustained various degrees of injury in the process of containing the situation and are currently receiving medical attention at a government health facility.
Yesterday we started the criminal investigations. Most of them, they are complaining about their deaths in the court. There are some adjournment deaths who have stayed about 4-5 years, there are no adjournment. And even others have stayed for 4, 5, and 7 years without their case being determined by the court of law. This thing is giving them best and a lot of issues that they are lacking because there's selective inflow. There are about 175 people in one cell that this thing happened now. When you go, you're going to see people.
Governor Sule stated that 7 of the fleeing inmates have so far been recaptured and are now back in custody, while 9 remain at large. He further assured that an intensive search is going on in collaboration with other security agencies to try and rearrest the escapees.
It is confirmed that there was a jailbreak of 16 inmates actually escaped, but they were able to get 7 of them back.
Yes, sir.
So far 9 of them are still at large, and there was no fatality, but they actually injured some of the correctional center officials, and those ones are receiving treatment.
The governor also said that the majority of inmates at the Kefi Custodial Center are from Abuja, awaiting trial at the Federal Capital Territory, and stressed the need to improve their welfare and living conditions.
That majority of the inmates here are actually those awaiting trial at the courts at FCT. They are not awaiting trials at our courts here in the state. But it is our responsibility actually to contact the officials of the FCT, and to see how best we can address that. And I intend to do that, because I went in there to see where they are staying, and I saw the condition that some of them are staying is not conducive. A lot of them are actually sitting in one place and uncompacted on the floor.
Governor Sule called on members of the public to remain calm, vigilant, and promptly report any suspicious movement or sighting of the fleeing inmates to the nearest security agency. Arugunade Mutsarayo, reporting for Clever News.
A 46-year-old father of 2, Mohammed Mekeke, is currently on the run for allegedly raping his 2 daughters in the Boso area of Minna, the Niger state capital. The girls, aged between 2 and 9 years, according to findings, have been molested by their father for a long time. It was gathered that when family members, particularly his wife, caught him in the act, she shielded him from being exposed to prevent stigmatization. According to the report, the 9-year-old girl discovered that her father was also engaging in an incestuous affair with her 5-year-old sister, but decided to remain quiet as the father had warned that he would kill her if she exposed him.
It was equally gathered that another man living in the area, who learned of the development, also took advantage of the 9-year-old girl on many occasions by sending her on errands, and when she returned with the items, he would take her into his room and sexually abuse her.
Sir, did they say you will die? Say yes. Hey, Angela said move to name of Ghana. That was when, because that is the major thing they use in lowering them. She started opening up after counseling her and piping her.
A source from the area said that when the father learned about the neighbor sexually abusing his daughter, he could not react since he was involved in the same act. Another source further disclosed that the grandmother had always wanted the issue to be reported to relevant authorities for the father and neighbor to be punished, but the grandfather refused, saying he had left everything to God.
It's a state case. I don't know, now because of fear of stigma also, and the rest. The man is now moving around free outside the court. Nothing. I don't know if this case can be awakened. Believe me, we love it.
Reacting to the development, the Director of Planning, Research and Statistics in Niger State's Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development, Mary Issa, and her colleague in the Social Work Director of Social Services, said it is devastating for a father to rape his daughters. When contacted, a child protection officer of the Niger State Child Rights Protection and Enforcement Agency, Maikudi Suleiman, disclosed that the suspect is still at large, adding the agency is on his trail. According to him, he will not rest until the man is apprehended and brought to book to serve as a deterrent.
We will not allow such menace to keep us thriving in our community. Enough is enough. The relevant authorities are working. We wanted to take full course, and also the relevant stakeholders should take action. We want GBV to end in our community. The menace has eaten all our fabrics, but it's time to act now.
Arugundade reporting for Clearview News.
A pastor, Ifedora Joseph, has been arrested by operatives of the Rivers State Police Command for allegedly subjecting children, particularly minors, to dehumanization. The spokesperson of the command, SP Grace Rinke Oko, said in a statement that the 20 children were rescued after the distressing video emerged online. She explained that the pastor had organized a 3-day program for children in the church for a spiritual cleansing. According to the police, the pastor claimed that he was inspired by the Holy Spirit to conduct the purported spiritual cleansing on the innocent children, adding that a thorough investigation is currently underway to unravel the circumstances surrounding this incident. Further updates will be made public as more information becomes available. The Canadian Federal Court has upheld a landmark immigration tribunal ruling that declared Nigeria's major political parties, the All Progressives Congress (APC) and the People's Democratic Party (PDP), terrorist organizations, while refusing asylum to a former member, Douglas Igaraba, over his decade-long affiliation with both parties. In a judgment delivered on June 17, 2025, Justice Fongo dismissed Ikaraba's application for judicial review after Canada's Immigration Appeal Division found him inadmissible under security provisions of the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act. The Canadian Minister of Public Safety and Emergency Preparedness had argued that the PDP and the APC were deeply implicated in acts of political violence, subversion of democracy, and electoral bloodshed, inflicting harm and terror on Nigerians. Ikaraba, who joined the PDP at its founding in 1999, left in 2007 when he defected to the APC, staying there until 2017. He claimed that his personal record was untainted by the violence and manipulation that plagued Nigerian politics, insisting he had never personally engaged in terrorism or subversion. However, Justice Ngo was unconvinced, writing that the conduct of individuals who are members of the PDP, including high-ranking officials and those who committed political violence and intimidation on their behalf, is too widespread and persistent over too great a period of time to disassociate the leadership of the party from their actions. If you are just joining us, you're watching the news on Clearview News Desk. We'll be back after this break. Stay with us.
No one, after lighting a lamp, puts it under a bushel. This is therefore a call to individuals, organizations, embassies, political office holders, and more to inform the world about their activities and achievements through documentaries. Here at Clearview, we parade the masters in the business of producing world-class documentaries. Show your stuff to the world by first contacting us through telephone number 0704 244 1177 or email us at clearviewnewsroom@gmail.com. Watch Clearview News at 7 p.m. daily, Monday to Friday on MITV, channel 255, DSTV, and on our YouTube and Facebook pages. Clearview News Desk. We clear the view, one time and for all time.
Welcome back. The captain of the Nigeria's women national team, Rashidat Ajibade, has revealed that they are yet to receive the $1,000 cash gift from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Tinubu had announced the reward for the Super Falcons during a reception to host them for winning this year's Women Africa Cup of Nations tournament in Morocco. Along with the money, the players and coaches were promised houses and conferred with national honors. Recall that a week later, Tinubu announced the same rewards for the women's basketball team, the Tigers. Ajibade, in an interview with media personality has now claimed they have not been paid yet.
Please, they have not. Like first, they have not paid all the promises you heard back and forth.
Yes.
We have not received anything. So let them know, because the people also like.
Yeah, they've already divided it for you.
Honestly, like share, give them percentage, and everything. I'm like, hey, bros, people, I beg. We've not received it,
Yeah.
but hopefully when they pay it, you would see.
You hear it on the news.
You see, I mean, even our match bonuses and everything's still work in progress. So we've not received anything yet.
And that's the news. You can follow up on latest events and happenings around you via social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Clearview News Desk, or via handle on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Clearview Online. Many thanks for watching. I am Imifonukun.